Hey everybody, Rick here with Departure Heaven. Today's date, I believe, is the 25th of October. My roommate just pulled me out here to watch this news clip I'm about to play for you. Okay? And when you watch it, this is now hitting the news airwaves. Well, it's been on there, but not like it's been on YouTube. In other words, YouTube is broadcasting more about Three-Eye Atlas than they are what we're seeing on the news. But now it's making its way to major news outlets. And this, I couldn't really find the clip on YouTube. I didn't, just really didn't, I guess I'll have time to really look it all up anyways. But I got it right here, and I'm gonna play the whole thing, the whole clip. All right, so here we go.
Talk to a policy expert now. Call 800-330-7355. That's 800-330-7355. Or visit sellmypolicy.com. Sellmypolicy.com.
An update now to a story that we have been following exclusively on this network for you. It has now been 115 days since a 28-mile-long comet called Three-Eye Atlas was first detected flying over 100,000 miles an hour. That's the fastest speed ever recorded. And because of its unusual characteristics, the speed, the size, the composition, some experts think it could be an alien ship that is headed toward Earth as we speak. And adding to this mystery, and this is just weird, NASA is still refusing to release the photos it took of the comet 2 weeks ago when it passed by Mars, and they're blaming that on the government shutdown. We just aren't buying it. We also learned this week that NASA is planning to launch what they're calling a defense probe into space to protect Earth if necessary. This is all so bizarre, and very few people are talking about it. Joining us now for more, Harvard professor and astrophysicist Dr. Avi Loeb. Great to have you back tonight. So 2 weeks, Dr. Loeb, after taking pictures of this thing, NASA is still refusing to make those photos public. They're blaming it on the shutdown. What is NASA hiding? Are they hiding something?
Thanks for having me. Well, I'm still of the belief that if they are slow, it's not because of extraterrestrial intelligence, but because of terrestrial stupidity. And so we should just wait, in my opinion. Indeed, the NASA image from the high-rise camera on top of the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter should give us a pixel resolution of 30 kilometers, 3 times better than the previous best image from the Hubble telescope. So we should just wait for that. And the object would actually reach closest approach to the sun in just a week on October 29th.
Right.
That's around the time of Halloween. And we shall see if it wears any customs, if it changes the direction, maneuvers. That would be the optimal time to do so. We can't observe it from Earth because it's hiding behind the sun, perhaps for a purpose. It could also release some mini probes that would approach the planets. And I asked my Galileo research team to look for any unusual activity in the coming months.
Okay, let me stop you just because now I've got multiple questions. I'm sorry to cut you off, but okay. So have you reached out to NASA? Because this is just, look, I operate in the real world, and NASA's supposed to release photos within 24 hours. It's been 15 days. They're blaming it on the shutdown. You're buying that? If there's nothing to hide, then have Jerry at NASA release the photos. It's that simple, right?
Yes, it's actually not NASA. The principal investigator of this camera is at the University of Arizona, and I actually sent an email asking him for the data. He didn't reply. So
wow.
I'm not sure exactly what is going on, but I'm not willing to speculate, and I will use as much data as we have. Of course, I'm very much eager to see it. The other advantage of that image is that we will look at the glow that is presumably started in front of the object, now turning to be behind it. We will see it sideways for the first time when it passed close to Mars.
Dr. Loeb, there are images online circulating right now that seem to show not a giant rock like a comet, but what looks like a fleet of spacecraft sort of clumped together. Have you seen these images?
No, I haven't, and I don't know how reliable they are. There is a lot of misinformation, so we have to be careful.
Okay, next Wednesday you mentioned October 29th. So 3i Atlas, essentially it's behind the sun right now. It will reemerge next Wednesday, and if it is a comet, it should essentially stay on course and head out into outer space. But if it does veer to the right and head toward Earth, that means it is intelligent, and then what happens next?
That's an excellent question. I think Washington, D.C. will have to attend to it. But of course, it doesn't need to change course itself because it's a very massive object, at least 33 billion tons in mass. So it could, for example, release mini probes if it's a mothership.
Okay.
So we have to watch for both possibilities.
When do we know for sure if this is a mothership?
We will know when we see the children of the mothership visiting us, coming closer to Earth. Of course, objects that are of the size of our spacecraft, of order 10 meters or a few tenths of meters, they would be difficult to observe because they don't reflect much sunlight until they come close to the atmosphere of the Earth, and then we will see them. It might be too late.
Are you saying that this on Wednesday could reemerge on the other side of the sun and release smaller probes like the movie Independence Day that could then potentially make their way toward Earth? Is that what you're saying? And then I'll just add to that, are you concerned?
Well, it is a possibility. Now, what many scientists miss in this context is that it has implications for humanity. It's not like any other scientific study where you can say, I don't really care what the dark matter particle is, it will not affect my future life. But here there are implications, and therefore we have to be worried about black swan events because of their huge implications, even if the probability that you assign to that is very small. So I think we should look into as much data as possible. And there is a spacecraft called JUICE that is operated by the European Space Agency. They are much more transparent than NASA. And that should, in the first week of November, tell us more about this subject.
But next Wednesday, we should at least have some answers if NASA is finally honest with the people of the world, not just the American people. The government shutdown should not impact NASA releasing photos if this thing is truly a comet. Avi Loeb, appreciate you being with us. Thank you for that update.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. When we come back, so the left and the right do not talk anymore. They don't communicate. But unlike other hosts, the government shutdown should not impact NASA releasing.
Okay, guys. There it is. It's on a major news outlet right there, Newsmax, okay? This is now hitting the TV waves. It's off and on we hear little clips of news bites hitting on like Fox News, Newsmax. But now this thing is getting close. If it all has to do, I think its closest approach is coming here in a few days. And then is it going to go straight around the sun, or is it going to start turning towards us? Let me get to the point. What we're witnessing, folks, is the conditioning, the worldwide conditioning setting the minds that aliens are here to observe us. Get ready, folks. This is the lie that's going to be forthcoming when the rapture of the church takes place. Everybody's going to be doing this, pointing to the sky, saying they took them. They're in that ship. They're saying it's 33 miles wide, 33, 32, something, 31 miles. I heard it. I think it was said on here. Get ready, folks. We are about to fly any day now. This thing, it gets close. If it does release mini probes, those things are going to be at least 2-3 miles wide, just like Independence Day. When they show up, we'll be long gone, or at the same time they show up. Either way, folks, they're probably coming because they're concerned that the planet is going to blow itself up through a nuclear war, and they're here to stop us from killing each other. Well, whatever the excuse is, the rapture's right there somewhere. It's supposed to happen, I believe. Guys, come to Jesus now. Time is running out. Come to Jesus today. I am sounding the alarm. Come to Jesus now so you will not be left behind. You do not want to miss out of what is coming our way. Guys, subscribe to this channel, like, share this emergency transmission today. Take care.